For years we've been hearing the same warning. AI is coming for your job. And depending on which headline you click on, apparently AI is about 3 software updates away from doing every job in America, which is a little concerning because I'm pretty sure AI doesn't need health insurance. It doesn't need vacation time or sick time. It doesn't call the boss at say 7:58 in the morning and say, "I don't think I'm going to be in today." But here's the thing: companies really are using AI to do work that people used to do, writing, customer service, research, basic computer coding, data entry, graphic design, administrative work, and companies are being told that AI can help them do more work with fewer people. Now, from the company's point of view, that sounds pretty good. I mean, if you can get the same amount of work done with, say, 8 people that used to take, say, 10 people, why would you continue paying 10 people? I mean, doesn't make any sense. And that's usually where this conversation starts. We hear about AI, we hear about layoffs, we hear about automation. And naturally, because we're human, we start asking, is AI going to take my job? But while I was digging into this, I started wondering if we're actually asking the wrong question. Because what if AI doesn't take your job? What if you already have something AI doesn't have? Experience. You've spent years learning your job. You know what works, what doesn't work. You know what to do when something goes completely sideways. And maybe most important, you know when the computer is confidently telling you something that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Which, if you've ever used AI, you know it happens occasionally. So maybe the person who's been doing the job for 15 years isn't the first person who needs to worry about losing their job. Maybe it's the person trying to get their first year in. Because think about it. My own career, I didn't walk into my first retail job knowing everything about retail. I had to learn it slowly and sometimes very painfully, slowly. I had to learn how to stock shelves. I had to run a cash register. I had to merchandise products so people would actually want to buy them. I had to learn how to interact with complete strangers, different personalities, different attitudes, different situations. And anybody who knows, or anybody who's ever worked retail knows, that right there is an education all by itself. But I was moving up, or as I was moving up, I had to learn even more what all the paperwork meant, how the business actually operated behind the scenes. Eventually, I had to learn how to look at a P&L sheet and understand what those numbers were actually telling me. None of that happened overnight. I learned one thing, then another, job after job, position after position, mistakes after mistakes. And all those little things slowly built on each other until I had something you can't just download, and that's experience. And here's the crazy part. I've been learning those lessons for more than 40 years. I didn't start where I am today. I started at the bottom where everybody else does. And that's what suddenly bothers me about the whole AI conversation. Because what happens if we start removing the bottom? Think about some of the things AI is already really good at helping us do. Basic research, simple reports, routine emails, data entry and basic coding, maybe some administrative tasks. And you know what we used to call a lot of that work? Entry-level work. That's where people learned. That's where people made mistakes. That's where somebody with 20 years of experience looked over your shoulder and said, no, 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 don't do that. And then 6 months later, you were the one looking over somebody's shoulder and saying, no, 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 don't do that. That's how experience gets passed down. Nobody walks into their first job already knowing everything. You learn by doing the smaller stuff. You screw things up. Someone shows you how to fix it. You screw something else up. They show you how to fix that. And eventually you become an expert at screwing things up. No, eventually you become the experienced person. So maybe the biggest AI story is AI taking our jobs. Maybe it's AI is changing where careers begin. And that opens up a completely different hole, because companies have a pretty strong argument for using this technology. If AI can make employees faster, make businesses more productive, and eliminate work that nobody particularly enjoys doing in the first place, why wouldn't companies use it? And that's a fair question. But there's another fair question sitting right beside it. If companies eventually need experienced workers, where are those workers supposed to get the experience from? And I don't think we're going to answer that. I don't think we're going to answer that one from the surface. So go ahead, grab your shovel, because before we decide AI is either destroying the working world or saving it, we've got some digging to do. So let's put the shovel down on the other side for a minute, because it's really easy to look at a company using AI and say, there they go again, cutting jobs to make more money. And sometimes maybe that's exactly what's happening. But I think that's a little too easy of an answer. Because being in retail for as many years as I have, I've learned one thing. Companies don't always make decisions based on what they'd like to do. They make decisions based on what the business requires, what the competition is doing, and especially for publicly traded companies, what the shareholders expect them to do. And shareholders generally aren't investing in a company because they really like the break room. They expect return, they expect growth, they expect the company to become more efficient. So imagine you're running a company. Your competitor starts using AI. They're answering customers faster, they're processing paperwork faster, they're producing reports faster. Maybe they're doing some jobs with 8 people that used to require 10. And you're sitting there saying, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep doing everything the old-fashioned way. And though that might sound admirable, until your competitor starts beating you and your shareholders start beating you. Because now you've got another problem. If they're producing something for $10 and it costs you $15, eventually somebody is going to ask you why. And if you're the person running the company, well, this is the way we've always done it. Probably isn't the greatest answer. And this isn't really new. Businesses have always adopted technology that allowed them to do more with less. The calculator replaced a lot of hand calculations. Computers replaced rooms full of paperwork. Barcode scanners changed retail. Self-checkout changed retail again. Online shopping changed it again. And every single time, some jobs disappeared, some jobs changed, and completely new jobs showed up. Helpless desks. I saw that happen during my own career. The retail world I walked into more than 40 years ago is damn sure not the retail world we have today. Well, we didn't have all the technology we have now. We didn't have instant inventory information. We didn't have the customer standing in the aisles looking at their phone saying, well, Amazon has this for $3 cheaper. And really quickly, stop blaming the store for things being $3 cheaper. The store has no control over what they are told to charge for something. So stop yelling. Yelling at them is not going to make the price go down. Anyhow, back on topic. Technology changed the job and we changed with it. So maybe AI is simply the next version of that. Maybe we're looking at AI saying it's replacing workers when businesses are looking at it saying it's another tool. And if that tool always allows one employee to accomplish what used to take 2 employees, from the company's perspective, why wouldn't they use it? That's the part of this argument I think we have to be fair about, because asking a company to ignore technology that makes it more competitive while every other company uses it probably isn't realistic. And here's where the argument for AI gets even stronger. Maybe AI doesn't eliminate the employee, maybe it eliminates the part of the employee's job that nobody really wanted to do anyways. The repetitive paperwork, the basic reports, the routine emails, the hours spent searching through information. If AI can handle that, maybe that employee gets to spend more time doing the things that actually require a human being. Making decisions, solving unusual problems, building relationships, taking care of the boss's dry cleaning. I don't know. They're going to be talking to customers, coming up with ideas. That doesn't sound like destroying work. That sounds like making work better. And if that's where this story ends, I'd probably say, okay, maybe we've been worrying about the wrong thing. But there's something underneath all of this that keeps bothering me. Remember what we talked about in Act 1, all those boring little jobs AI might take off our plate, the paperwork, the reports, the research, routine tasks. That's where a lot of us learn how the business worked. I didn't start by reading the P&L sheet. I started by stocking shelves. Then I learned the next thing, and then the next thing, and eventually I understood the bigger picture. So yes, the companies have a point. AI can make them faster. It can make them more efficient. It can help them compete. And expecting businesses to simply ignore that technology isn't realistic. But now I think we've hit the next layer, because if AI starts doing the work we used to give beginners, what exactly do beginners do? And that's where I think we need to start digging a little deeper. So now we've got a problem, because both things can be true. Companies would be foolish to ignore a technology that can make them more productive, and young workers still need somewhere to start. Think of a career like a ladder. Nobody starts on the rung number 10. They start on the first step, number 1. Then maybe somebody gives you a chance at, getting to step 2. Eventually, you get to 3, 4, 5, and after enough years, you're standing near the top wondering why your knees hurt. That's apparently the reward for experience, but here's what I'm wondering. What happens if technology removes the first couple of steps? We keep hearing that AI can handle basic tasks. Great, but basic tasks are exactly what we used to give to basic employees. Not because those employees weren't intelligent, because they were learning. You didn't give the brand new employee the biggest account on Monday morning. You gave them something smaller. You watched what they did and you corrected them along the way. Then you gave them something a little harder. That's just how you build an employee. But imagine a company 5 or 10 years from now. They need somebody who can manage projects. they want somebody with experience, someone who understands the industry, someone who can recognize when something doesn't look right, someone who can make judgment calls. So they put up the job listing, 5 years of experience required. Okay, fair enough. But now I've got a question. Where did those 5 years come from? Because if a company spent the previous 5 years saying, we don't need junior employees, AI can handle the junior work, we've created a pretty strange situation. We want experienced workers without giving inexperienced workers anywhere to become experienced. That's like removing the first 3 steps of the ladder. Then standing at the top yelling, why aren't you people climbing? And I think this is where the AI job conversation gets more complicated than AI good, AI bad. Because maybe the real danger isn't that AI replaces everybody. Maybe it replaces just enough of the beginning that we don't notice the problem until years later. And there's something else here. Those beginner jobs don't just teach you technical parts of the job. They teach you how to work, how to deal with a boss, how to deal with a coworker you don't particularly like, and how to deal with a customer who's having a terrible day, as apparently decided that you're going to have one too. You learn how to prioritize, how to communicate, how to recover from mistakes. You learn how to ask for help. And sometimes how to figure something out when nobody around you knows the answer either. Those things aren't usually listed in the training manual. You learn them by being there, by doing the job, by getting something wrong and trying again. That's how you learn things. That's something I think we forget when we talk about experience. Experience isn't just knowing the answer. Sometimes experience is knowing, I've seen this go wrong before. And there's no shortcuts for that. You know, I've seen it happen. I know how to fix it. But I also don't think the answer is, okay, everybody stop using AI so beginners can keep doing the old jobs. That's not going to happen. And I'm not even sure it should happen. Because maybe we're making an assumption here. We're assuming that because the old first step disappeared, there won't be a new first step. When computers entered the workplace, people had to learn different skills. When the internet changed business, people had to learn different skills. When online shopping changed retail, we had to change with it. So maybe the 22-year-old entering the workforce today isn't supposed to learn exactly the same way I did 40 years ago. Maybe their first job isn't doing the work AI can do. Maybe their first job is learning how to work with AI and then doing the things AI can't do well. Maybe that's the first step. And if it is, then maybe we're not destroying the career ladder at all. Maybe we're rebuilding the career ladder. But there's one problem with that argument too. Someone still has to teach that younger employee what good looks like. Because having AI give you an answer and knowing whether that answer is actually right are two very different things. And we're right back where we started. Experience. So maybe the question isn't whether the first step is disappearing. Maybe the real question is, what are we replacing it with? Because if we're going to rebuild the career ladder, we'd better make sure there is still a way to climb it. So at the end of Act 3, we were left with a question. If AI starts replacing some of the work people traditionally did at the beginning of their careers, what are we replacing it with? And maybe we've been looking at this, half-assed backwards. Maybe the first ring or the first step isn't disappearing. Maybe it moved. Think about the young person entering the workforce today. They've grown up with technology in a way my generation never did. And now they're entering a workplace where AI may just be another tool sitting on the desk. So maybe their advantage isn't competing against AI. Maybe their advantage is knowing how to work with it. Because imagine two people applying for the same entry-level job. One person says, I don't use AI, I do everything myself. The other person, I use AI to help me research faster, organize information, create a first draft, and automate repetitive tasks. But I know how to check the work as well. If you're the employer, which one sounds more useful? And I know somebody watching this is probably saying, well, the second one. Okay, I probably agree with you, but how does that person know whether the work is right? There's the next hole. Because knowing how to use a tool and knowing the job you're using that tool to do are two completely different things. I can hand someone the best hammer money can buy. That doesn't make them a carpenter. And AI might be the most powerful hammer we've ever invented, but somebody still has to know where the nail goes. I mean, that's where experience comes right back into this conversation. Remember when I talked about learning retail? I learned to stock, I learned to cashier, I learned to merchandise, learned to deal with customers, and eventually had to learn that damn paperwork. I had to learn how to be a manager, how to look at a P&L sheet and know what it's telling me, and everything else that came with moving through the business. Now imagine I'd had AI when I started. Maybe it could have helped me learn some of those things faster. Maybe instead of spending an hour trying to understand a report, I could have asked AI to explain it to me, in layman's terms. Maybe instead of searching through a manual, I could have asked a question and gotten an answer in seconds, and that sounds pretty incredible. But there's a difference between AI explaining a P&L sheet to me and me sitting in a meeting trying to explain why mine looks terrible. Because suddenly there's context. There are decisions, there are consequences, and there are people looking at you waiting for an answer. That's where the textbook ends and experience begins. Because trust me, you don't want to be in one of those meetings where they're looking at you saying, why does your P&L look like shit? You don't want to be in one of those meetings. So maybe the entry-level employee of the future doesn't spend 3 hours building the spreadsheets. AI helps build it. But that employee still has to understand what the spreadsheet is telling them. Maybe they don't spend half the morning writing a basic report. AI creates the first draft. But somebody still has to recognize when that report completely missed the point. Maybe they don't spend hours searching for information. AI finds it. But somebody still has to ask, can I trust this? And suddenly the entry-level job hasn't necessarily disappeared. The expectations have changed. And there's another side to this that I think we're going to have to accept. If two people have similar experiences and one of them knows how to use AI to accomplish the same work faster, that person may have an advantage. Not because AI replaced the other worker, because one worker learned how to use a new tool and the other didn't. We've seen that before. There was a time when knowing how to use a computer was a special skill. Then it became something employers expected. And there was a time when email was a skill. Today, putting consent email on your resume probably isn't going to get you the corner office. Technology moves from being something special to being something everybody is simply expected to know, and AI might be heading in exactly that direction, which creates a completely different problem for young workers. Maybe they're not entering a world with no first step. Maybe they're entering a world where the first step is higher. The companies may still hire the beginner, but now that beginner is expected to understand the basics, know how to work with AI, check with AI products, communicate with people, solve problems, and somehow gain experience at the same time, that's asking a lot from somebody who's just getting started. But maybe that technology change has always done. That's how what technology has always done. It doesn't necessarily eliminate the ladder. Sometimes it changes what you need to know before you're allowed to climb it. And that leaves us with an uncomfortable possibility. Maybe AI isn't going to create a world where humans don't have jobs. Maybe it's going to create a world where the definition of being qualified changes faster than some of us can actually keep up with. And if that's true, then this isn't only a conversation about young people trying to get their first job anymore, because there's another group that might suddenly discover the first step removed: the rest of us. So at the end of Act 4, we discovered this isn't about the 22-year-old trying to get their first job anymore. It's about the rest of us. Because if AI changes what it meant to be qualified, then having 10, 20, or even 40 years of experience doesn't necessarily mean you get to ignore what's happening. I may know retail, but if retail changes, I have to change with it. That's what happens throughout my entire career. But I also think we can go too far in the other direction, because every time a new AI model comes out that can do something incredible, somebody immediately announces, well, that's it, humans are finished. Apparently, we've had a good run. Pack it up, turn off the lights, the computers have it from here. Except, I don't think that's where this is going either, because there's an important difference between AI being able to do part of a job and AI being able to replace the person doing the job. Take a plumber. AI might help diagnose the problem. It might tell you what probably caused the leak, and might even walk somebody through the basic repair. But eventually, somebody still has to crawl underneath the sink. And I don't see ChatGPT squeezing itself under the sink at any time. Same thing goes for electricians, construction workers, mechanics, HVAC techs, nurses, caregivers, and countless other jobs where somebody physically has to interact with the real world. AI may change those jobs. It may make those workers better at those jobs, but replacing the human entirely, that is a very different challenge within itself. And then there are jobs where the human connection itself matters. Think about a nurse sitting with somebody who's scared, a teacher realizing that a student isn't understanding something, a caregiver helping someone through one of the most vulnerable moments of their life. AI might provide information, it might help with paperwork, it might spot patterns, it might even help those do their jobs better. But sometimes you don't need another piece of information, you need another human being. And that's why I don't think the future is as simple as AI versus human. Maybe that's the wrong fight. Maybe it's humans with AI. The plumber who uses AI to diagnose a problem faster. the nurse who spends less time doing paperwork and more time with their patient, the mechanic who uses AI to identify an issue but still knows when the computer diagnosis doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. The experienced employee who can take what AI produces and add judgment to it, context, experience, and sometimes just plain common sense, which computers aren't exactly famous for. And maybe that's where those 40 years I talked about earlier became even more valuable. Because AI can give me information in seconds that might have taken me hours to find years ago. And that's incredible. But it doesn't have my 40 years. It wasn't standing beside me when I made mistakes. It didn't have the angry customer standing in front of it. It didn't have to explain a bad P&L. It didn't have to make a decision when every available option was lousy. I did. And somebody entering the workplace or the workforce today will eventually have their own version of those experiences. It just might look completely different from mine. Maybe that's the place, or maybe that's the piece we've been missing. We keep asking, what jobs will AI take? Maybe we should also be asking, what will AI allow people to do better? Because history usually isn't as simple as technology shows up and everybody loses their job. Technology changes what we do. Some jobs disappear, some jobs shrink, some completely new job appears, and a whole lot of existing jobs simply just changed. Which means maybe the biggest advantage isn't going to belong to the person who can beat AI. I don't know that trying to outrun a computer is a particularly good career strategy. Maybe the advantage belongs to the person who brings something AI doesn't and knows how to use what AI does. Experience, judgment, human connection, physical abilities, creativity, context, and the ability to look at what the computer just produced and say, yeah, we're not going to do that. So after all this digging, I'm not convinced AI means the end of work. I'm not even convinced it means the end of entry-level work. But I do think it means something else. Work is changing. The companies need to change. The employees need to know how the change is. They need to know there's still a ladder for them to climb. Which brings us back to something we've known for a very long time. The world doesn't stop changing just because we're not ready for it. You know, after digging through all this shenanigans, I keep coming back to something Dr. Alan Grant said in Jurassic Park. The world is changing and we're all just trying to keep up. And I think that might be the simplest way to describe everything we've been talking about, because the world is changing. It's always changing, and it probably always will. Sometimes, or something that seemed cutting edge 10 years ago can already feel completely outdated today. Think about how many things we once accepted as completely normal. There was a time when you called the cable guy because you needed somebody to come to your house, and they tell you, well, we'll be there sometime between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And we'd say, okay, 6 hours. That's not an appointment window. That's a hostage situation. You couldn't go anywhere. You didn't want to take a shower. You were afraid to run to the store because somehow just you knew that the second you left the house, the cable guy was coming. And that was normal. Today, I can order something online and practically watch the delivery driver make their way to my front door. I can get a text telling me somebody is on their way. I can schedule appointments online. The world changed, and without really noticing it, we changed with it. And I think that's where we're heading with AI. I don't know exactly what AI is going to look like in 10 years from now. I don't think anybody really does. Maybe it eliminates some jobs. Maybe it creates jobs we've never heard of yet. Maybe it makes some of the jobs we're already doing easier. And maybe it creates problems we haven't even thought about yet. Probably all of the above. But after everything we've dug through, there's one thing I feel pretty confident about. The future is coming whether we're ready for it or not. And I don't think the answer is pretending we can stop it. But I also don't think the answer is blindly running towards every new piece of technology just because somebody tells us it's the future. Maybe the answer is somewhere in between. Use the technology, question the technology, learn from it, challenge it, figure out what it does better than us, and figure out what we still do better than it. Because maybe the biggest mistake we could make isn't allowing AI to change the ladder. The ladder has always been changing. Maybe the mistake would be allowing the first step to disappear without building a new one. Because somebody still has to get their first chance, their feet wet, if you will. Somebody still has to make their first mistake. Somebody still has to learn their first lesson, and somebody, that beginner, becomes the person with 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience, maybe even 40 years of experience. Their path probably won't look anything like mine, and maybe it isn't supposed to look like mine. The world is changing. We're all trying to keep up, and maybe that's okay. Because we've been doing that for a very, very long time. We just have a brand new shovel this time. And I have a feeling we've got a lot more digging to do. So let's just keep digging.